Dear viewers, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you watch this channel. I have always had this notion that this issue of high taxations on Kenyans is as a result of IMF trap on William Samoei Ruto. I am suspecting that William Ruto could not have just hiked the tax because he wanted to. I have a notion, I believe that IMF could be playing a role here in making sure that William Ruto traps himself in this mess. I want to start by reminding you about a loan that the IMF assured Kenyan government that they will receive before the end of June. And that is $1 billion. $1 billion was assured to Kenya. You remember when the UN secretary came to Kenya and they had a little conversation. He told Ruto point blank that the loaning policy of IMF is a bit confusing in a way, because if Kenyans are given a loan, the repayment is high. But if the Western countries are given a loan, the repayment is not as high as Kenyans or African countries. So he said that he is going to front a bill that will bring about the equity in how these loan charges are reflected on any kind of loan, be it African countries or the Western countries. So that was the UN secretary saying. I have looked carefully at this finance bill 2023-2024 and observed or opined that this is just like the case of you committing suicide. If you commit suicide, you kill yourself. So William Ruto is trying to commit suicide politically by this finance bill. And the whole issue here is simple, just to please the IMF. Because IMF want a country that taxes more. Tax more, we get money from you. Because if you tax more, that means we can even give you loan, we can even loan you more. So the policy of IMF is quite absurd here, because it only makes sure that the common mwananchi anapata mzigo mkubwa sana in terms of prepayment of the taxations. So William Ruto sought to please the IMF by overtaxing the common citizens. So the reason why we have this finance bill that we have, with everything skyrocketing, and I say in this channel, like I said previously, that this issue of housing levy, if Ruto is not careful about it, then this is what will kill his his chances of securing another chance in 2027. I am foreseeing a scenario where Raila Amolo Odinga will make a comeback in 2027, because that will be almost a sure way of reclaiming this what he says stolen presidency. There's a reason why Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta will not let go Jubilee. There's a reason why Rigathi Gachagua wants Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta to let go Jubilee, because if that is not done, then the chances of William Ruto securing this presidency in 2027 are slim. In fact, they are close to zero. If you consider this issue of housing levy, hiyo peke yake, leave alone the NSSF, leave alone NHF, housing levy, this is what Raila Amolo Odinga will use to end William Ruto's term. That's the honest reality, ladies and gentlemen. So as much as William Ruto wants to please IMF in matters of loans and the like, but he should also know that the West is trapping him. They are using that IMF loan to trap him. And the earlier he knows it, the better. But if he knows it when it's too late, then the people will escalate this rebellion and it will affect him. It will affect him a great deal, because right now, ladies and gentlemen, to be honest, it is not easy for William Ruto to make another promise. Let's take, for example, the issue of gas. Nobody will want to listen to William Ruto after 1st of June if the price of gas does not come to 500 like he promised. Nobody will listen to him. Nobody will listen to him if he makes any promise on Stadia, any promise on, any kind of promise. Because right now, if you look at memes all over the internet, especially here in Kenya, memes, they are all depicting a Ruto who is not honest. I've seen so many memes, and I'll be honest with you, no memes seems to be supporting William Ruto's agenda. All of these memes seems to be memes that are not in support of William Ruto's moves. I want to give you an example, and I will just narrate it in Kiswahili. Ukitaka kushika kuku, what do? Chukua beseni, wekelea beseni, chukua mti, wekelea mti. Chukua mtama, mwaga pale ndani. Ita kuku. Kuku atakuja. Akiona mtama ataingia ndani. Pull that rope. That basin will nasa huyu kuku na utakuwa umemshika. The same to birds and the like. That analogy, you bring it to IMF scenario, then we can say that IMF is trapping William Ruto with that loan, so that by the time he takes the loan and he has put the taxes high and the people are rebelling, so IMF and the UN will want to support William Ruto. And in doing that, they will want something from William Ruto. So I don't know whether you understand how the West is trying to manage Kenya, trying to take Kenya from Chinese kabisa through the IMF loaning. If the IMF gives you that loan, and IMF is basically UK, US, those are the biggest countries there. But should they do that loan, give Ruto loan, Ruto will do whatever he is doing now by hiking in the taxes. And in doing that, tax ikiongezeka juu, Kenyans watalia, like right now everybody's crying. And when they do that, that means William Ruto will lose support on the ground. And if he loses support on the ground, what does that mean? That means William Ruto will need an international help to stay in power. He will need Biden, he will need UK, he will need US to stay in power. He will need IMF to soldier on. So that's why I'm saying that this loan, the $1 billion loan, is a trap on William Ruto. A trap. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to raise my case there, and I'd like to urge you to comment below the comment section there. And once again, I'd like to urge you to stay safe and stay blessed until we catch up again in our next analysis.